So this workshop is about higher education partnerships for sub-Saharan Africa. And the theme we chose for this workshop was engineering education for development. The aims include creating partnerships that will help enriching engineering education, that is contributing to engineering capacity development in the region, seek improvements in the quality and relevance of engineering education and research in sub-Saharan Africa, improvements that were aimed at catalyzing industry-academia relationships in hub universities and their partner institutions. The challenge, of course, for this project has been COVID-19. So what are the outcomes now and what we expect going forward? We expect graduates that are more practical and relevant in addressing challenges in society. The students who have participated on PBLs or PBL challenges are really doing very well. Some of them have even gone ahead to compete internationally. Of course, COVID-19 has also now curtailed their movement, but some even went to the US, some have gone to the Netherlands, and some even within the country are competing well because they have those additional skills of teamwork, of communication, of project management, etc. Then also partnerships with industry for mutual benefit. Here again, we request all the industry partners, Chera Motors Corporation, National Water and Sewerage Corporation, Uganda Communications Commission, to keep on engaging us as universities. You know, at times in our quest for development, there are blame games. Some people say, oh no, but the university is working alone and it's not going to the industry. Then the industry people say, no, but then the university says, but the industry is not supporting us. Here we want to see mutual collaboration, collaboration for mutual benefit between the industry partners, academia, and government institutions. Also increase the collaboration amongst universities. This project was about partnerships. So I request colleagues from Busitema, Chambogo, that let's keep working together. Mbara University, Ndeje, whether it means, whether it comes to activities like research, let's do research together. Let's share facilities that we have. Let us publish together. Let us do all things together. Let's jointly examine and supervise students. Increase research and grants won. Want to see that coming out also strongly after this project. Then also the ability to acquire intellectual property. We've now seen some of our colleagues earning or getting IPs. They are getting patents. So we need to have more of these going forward. And also innovations that can be commercialized. Tomorrow, Professor Tikodo will be talking about innovations and commercialization. But we also know that even what is leading Chera Motors Corporation started as a small project within the university. So there's a lot to learn, but also we can do many more of these going forward.
Going into the problems first, we have here the wide digital divide. Okay, looking at individuals and businesses, and of course maybe with geographical location. Because of this lockdown, people have actually been dispersed. You find that maybe even at university, persons were a little bit interacting, but now because of this COVID, we had to actually get back to our either local areas, and so this kind of divide has been created because there is always a gap in trying to access ICT kind of technologies and what have you. Then we have also seen the new tight deadlines for semesters. This is actually very seen in most of the academic institutions, whereby at least because they are trying to embrace the distance learning, they are trying to actually fix most of the programs in the shortest time possible. Then we also have the practical training being affected. At least I talked about this in terms of the internship. Then the limited relief support from the government. This is actually widely seen from the previous or current news that is happening in the country. Then the rigidity to adopt to the new normal. This is very seen. because not all of us are actually able to access this kind of chances and opportunities. So it's actually not easy for each and everyone to easily adopt to the new norm.
Good morning, my colleagues, Limited Technologies. Some of you who were in some of my classes before, I shared with you a definition of engineering as one of the definitions. That engineering is the professional art of applying science to optimum conversion of natural resources for the benefit of man. My fellow engineers, you and me are constantly called upon to improve one way or the other nation's infrastructure. Efforts in government relations are not so clear-cut, not so easily measurable. You know, politicians can have 1 + 1 = 3, but you engineers should never, even when you become politicians, 1 + 1 must always remain 2.
Objective was to design an automobile carbon emission analyzer that will quantify and give real-time data from these automobile vehicles, or rather from these automobiles, because we have seen that since there is lack of assessment of how these automobiles pollute the environment, because when someone gets a car, they only care about putting in fuel. They don't most times care about has it gone above some certain threshold that is operating at, because we've seen that manufacturers actually bring in their cars, but they sometimes undervalue the results of the mission. So with this project, we are intending to actually work on this. The specific objectives are to detect the two gases, which is carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, to track the emissions of these given VINs. VIN is vehicle identification number, to store the VINs for future use, and to share the emission database to responsible stakeholders like NEMA, URA, police, UNBS. This is actually aimed at trying to be able to pick out those errant kind of polluters that actually pollute much of the environment.
So the ideal in terms of engineering education is that we want to actually produce graduates that have got competence and commitment, and then proceed through to further training in the industry to become registered engineers, again associated with certain competencies and certain commitments to delivering for society, as Professor Chigundu's definition earlier showed us. Now, we've seen previously that we can look at this competence and commitment from the perspective of knowledge. So our graduate or our engineering education should deliver people who know things. Okay, if it is an electrical engineer, or a mechanical engineer, or a chemical engineer, or a civil engineer, we would expect the person to know certain things, and our engineering education is geared, or should be geared, towards enabling that person to have that knowledge.
At Moi University, we have 5 departments which are offering engineering programs. In these departments, we have electrical, we have mechanical, we have chemical, we have civil, and we have another one which is textile engineering. In this, the university started operating from 1986. That is offering engineering programs, and we have been offering programs which were more practical oriented. It was created so as we could offer technology programs, and over the years we realized that our graduates were being confused in the field, and we changed to Bachelor of Engineering.
My name is Martin Cowsill. I'm a director of the company Microgen Renewables. I'd like to thank Professor Alinaitwe for inviting me to make this presentation, which will focus on the importance of engineering education in schools. I'm sure I don't need to remind anyone here that the United Nations Strategic Development Goal 4 is quality education. but this presentation is a call to action, more specifically for anyone who cares about the future prosperity of Uganda.
We are a government entity which is established to undertake the commercialization of the Kira electric vehicle project we started in CEDAT. And we are there to champion value addition in the domestic automotive industry for both job and wealth creation. The Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation was mandated in 2016, please, that is an error, it's 2016. At its formation to provide the necessary policy guidance and oversight to the Kira Motors Corporation. We are now poised to address the mobility needs of the target market with the offering that includes buses for mass mobility to meet the needs of the traveler who needs not to own a vehicle. And in fact, this is the engagement I've been in with the minister this morning. Now, the offerings will include utility vehicles, SUVs, pickups to address city and off-road utilities duty cycle. We'll also be offering executive sedans such as the Kira EV Smart, which you can order now and they will be able to provide for the niche market. But it's important to note that as we proceed along this line, it will only be 15% job opportunity that will be available at the plant or at the park. The 85% of the job opportunity will lie in the supply chain of the parts, the components, and the services. Now, what this means that you engineers, as you come out, or as of now, you should be setting up the companies that will supply the parts, the components to us at Jinja or at Kayunga, which we shall then integrate in accordance with the design and specification we shall have provided. Most of our people do not own cars. And yet at the same time, in terms of the energy sources, we have plenty of it in terms of availability of solar energy. You all know that we experience the sun nearly 8 hours a day in its full blast. So we thought that we could actually derive some of our energy for driving these vehicles from solar. But before that, I had cracked a joke with my team and said, look, we have made Kira electric vehicle, the lime green vehicle. It can only go 100 kilometers per hour. Its range is 80. I need to go to Arua. How do you enable me to go to Arua? That is when the idea of putting up this hybrid electric vehicle came up. We designed it. And in the exercise, we got some ideas from SMAC, from St. Mary's College, Kisubi, students. And in order to honor them, we said, okay, this hybrid electric vehicle that we're bringing out to enable the professor to go all the way to Arua will be called Kira EV Smart. So when you read the word Smart, that is basically the origin, to recognize the contribution that the students made.